Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Today, I want to talk about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a big deal in the workplace for several reasons. Better communication. When people have a high emotional intelligence, EI, they are good at reading and understanding the emotions of their coworker. This really helps in having clearer and more effective conversations. They are really good at resolving conflicts. They handle disagreement better by addressing the emotional side of things, which actually leads to a quicker and smoother resolutions. Stronger teamwork. A high EI really improves collaborations. People tend to work well together. They share ideas and they give constructive feedback without causing friction. Usually, it builds a sense of trust and mutual respect among team members, which is key for a positive work environment. Leaders, effective leaders, have a high EI because that makes them amazing at inspiring, motivating their teams, and creating a supportive work culture. Those leaders tend to make smarter decisions because they are considering how their choices affect their team emotionally, leading to more thoughtful and balanced outcomes. High emotional intelligence obviously has an impact on employees' engagement and retention. Employees who feel understood and valued are more satisfied with their jobs and are more likely to stay with the company. So, big impact on job satisfaction. That obviously goes well with a lower turnover. Usually, that really drops the turnover rates because leader colleagues, they tend to love working together and usually they stay in the company. Stress is managed in a better way because people are able to handle the pressure more effectively, and that really helps maintaining productivity and avoiding burnout. Well-being in general is greater. People tend to have better mental healths and overall greater satisfactions with their jobs. Customer service is even increased. Employees with high EI are better at understanding and responding to customers' needs and emotions. Customer loyalty as a result is greater because the experience is better. High EI helps individuals adapt more easily to change and new challenges at work. So that really brings more flexibility and usually more innovation because people are more open to new ideas and improvement. And the same, usually we see a positive impact on diversity and inclusion because employees, leaders, people with a high EI tend to appreciate and respect different perspectives and backgrounds, which is crucial for a diverse and inclusive workplace. So when you really think about it, the emotional intelligence really has a major impact on the communication, the teamwork, the effective leadership. That brings a higher employee engagement and retention, better stress management, improved customer service. We see more adaptability to change, and that tends to promote diversity and inclusion. Now, if we think of concrete example, we can think about conflict mediation. An employee who's got more emotional intelligence will be great at mediating conflicts by understanding and addressing the emotional concerns of all parties involved. A manager who notices signs of burnout and takes proactive steps to address it will improve the team morale. Customer interaction. A customer service rep who handles a frustrated customer with empathy will turn a negative experience into a positive one. So, really, in short, emotional intelligence helps create a more harmonious, productive, and effective work environment. And all of that benefits everyone involved. Now, you may ask yourself, okay, this is great. Now, emotional intelligence, like, yes, it's great to have it, but are we, do we, are we born with it, or do we grow to develop it? What's the solution here? So there are ways to work on your emotional intelligence and to learn, take certain steps. So I'm going to share a few here. So obviously, emotional intelligence, as we've seen, will actually boost how you interact with others and how you handle your own feelings. So here are a few steps or things you could focus on to help you with that. First, get to know your emotion. We don't always do that. Try to think about your feelings. Take a moment to figure out what makes you tick emotionally. You can maybe keep a journal, and that could be a great way to start, observing your own feelings. Ask for opinions, check with your friends, family, co-workers, people that really know you well and that you trust, how they see or they believe you deal with emotions and interactions. You can try mindfulness, practice mindfulness or meditation to get a better handle on how you can manage your emotions. That's something you may want to try, and how they are affecting you. You can learn to control your reactions. Stay cool. So one thing at a time. And you can start, you may start practicing deep breathing, or taking a quick break can help. Just try to learn, to deal with situations in a more chill, composed manner. Set goals. Make goals on how you want to manage your emotions and track your progress. So, for instance, myself, I tend to be a bit impatient. So last week, I observed myself and my reactions, and I was pleased to see that I could have had two situations handled in a complete different way, but I was able to catch myself, observe myself, and not react, but actually instead choose the way I wanted to show up or I wanted to react in a given situation that tends to trigger me always. Boost your social skills. That's a way to work on your emotional intelligence. Work on your communication. Try to focus on really listening to others and responding thoughtfully. Build connection. Try to spend time getting to know people and building positive relationships, and handle conflict. Think about how you can resolve disagreement in a way that is fair and constructive. Always promote goodwill. Develop empathy. See things from others' perspective. Try to understand how others feel and what drives them. Listen up. When people share their thoughts or feelings, really listen and validate what they're going through. So really try to be compassionate. because that will help you connect with others and see things from their sides. Stay motivated. Set personal goals that aligns with what you care about to keep your motivation high. So think about the things that you want to improve. And of course, you have to be resilient. You know, change doesn't happen overnight. So focus on resolution when things go wrong and learn from your experiences. Celebrate your wins. Recognize and celebrate your success, even the tiny ones. As I said, I was pleased to see that normally I tend to react in a certain way in certain situations, and I was proud of myself last week. I just, I was controlled. So I was pleased with myself. Now, you have easy ways to actually practice all that we describe. And before I mention those ways, I just want to recap on the things you might want to focus on if you want to work on your emotional intelligence. So get to know your own emotions, observe your emotions, control your reactions. Once you observe your emotions and you kind of observe the way you typically react, try to be aware and then you can control your reaction. You can actually choose how you show up. Boost your social skills. To be better with your emotional intelligence, you have to work on your communication, you have to build connections and see how you can improve the way you handle conflicts. Develop empathy always. You have to have empathy to be able to understand others and their perspectives. Stay motivated. Going through that process of learning takes time. So set up goals and celebrate your wins. So a way to practice is potentially leveraging role plays. So you can try out different scenario to work on your empathy and social skills. So you can try and you can try to get feedback, ask for feedback from others to understand how you're doing and do some emotional check-ins, take a few minutes each day to check in with yourself and see how you're feeling. Now, you can find different resources. You can use books, you have different books. You have the Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradberry. You have courses that you can take on emotional intelligence, or you can actually talk to a coach or a therapist for deeper insights or tips. So I hope you find this content useful and that you will start practicing some of the tips I just shared today.